Hi guys, welcome back to Afropop Entertainment News, and in this video we are going to be looking into the Hushpuppi effect. Hushpuppi, whose real name is Raymond Abbas, is a Nigerian scammer who has ended up becoming one of the richest, most popular and most wealthy scammers to ever do it. And in this video we are going to analyze how the Hushpuppi's influence has been in full effect ever since this man was arrested. Stay tuned and please subscribe. In 2020, Hushpuppi, who was just 36 years old at the time, was arrested in Dubai and later extradited to the United States, where he would be charged with crimes such as money laundering and hacking, as well as cyber crimes. He was found guilty and is currently serving a sentence of up to 11 years. He was also charged with scamming specific clients who demanded to be restituted up to 1.7 million US dollars. The man who had flaunted private jets and luxury cars is now serving 11 years in prison. This is a significant change from the lifestyle he had, because he was a man who had a larger than life lifestyle. He had luxury cars, private jets, and he always hung out with the who is who. He was hanging out with some of the richest people in the world, and Raymond Abbas was known to only finance this extravagant lifestyle through unscrupulous deals and online hacking schemes that netted up to 24 million US dollars. Ever since he was arrested and charged for these crimes, very little has been heard of from him, but he recently came out to say that his greed had really landed him in hot soup, and he believes that what he's going through right now, it's all because of his greed. But nonetheless, we have to say that Hushpuppi has left a very significant impact, not just in Nigeria but among very many youthful men and women all over the world. And this can be seen from the fact that scamming has taken up a huge rise all over the world. There has been an increase in professional scammers, with people renting out rooms and buildings to conduct scamming as a whole team, as a whole group. As a matter of fact, there are very many organizations and security experts who have come out to say that the issue with scamming has just begun. In fact, recently the EFCC conducted a raid in Lagos where they captured very many nationals, some from the Filipino region, some from the Arab region, who were taking up in scamming. Interpol even said that Americans have lost up to 12.5 billion shillings to scamming, and the scammers are balling, they're enjoying life. And I can say this can all be attributed to Hushpuppi, because Hushpuppi made scamming similar to living an extravagant lifestyle. He showed the people that when you're scamming, you can afford things like luxury vehicles, you can afford a yacht, you can afford to buy a private jet. And he made the people see this is an area of a career which you don't just you don't just win small, you win big. And he made it look luxurious. In fact, recently in Nigeria, it was established by a specific professor known as Adedeji that I have seen parents who have taken their children to learn how to become Yahoo boys. And I would say such an effect can only be seen when someone makes something like scamming look luxurious and fancy. So the Hushpuppi effect is that Hushpuppi made scamming look desirable. It's not like typical stealing where your villagers and your family will be like embarrassed that you're scamming or you're stealing. Scamming is something that people find admirable. They're like, I want to be like Hushpuppi. And as a result, we can see that very many countries, including Kenya, Nigeria, the Filipino region, Indians, Arabs have started taking up scamming. It's something that has become worldwide. I know very many people associate scamming with Nigerians, but that is not accurate anymore. And this is evident in the fact that the recent EFCC raid captured very many nationals from very different countries, from very different regions, and they were all working together in Nigeria, which is becoming something like the hub of scamming. But it's not just Nigerians. I have to make this clear. it's not just Nigerians who are finding scamming to be something that is desirable. The access to internet has also made scamming so much easier, and with people like Hash Puppy showing the world that scamming can make you very large amounts of money, and scamming can be done safely to the extent that not only are you living a lavish lifestyle, but you can show your face in public settings and you can enjoy life. In Kenya, for instance, just this December, a fake gold scammer was arrested for defrauding a foreign national of 33 million US dollars. And according to the FBI, American consumers lost up to 12.5 US billion due to cybercrime, and this represents a 22% increase over the previous year. Of course, there is a high increase in scam alerts because the scammers are on the rise, they're on the lookout, and this can be attributed to Hush Puppy, who made scammers realize that, you know what, instead of the typical robbing that we've been doing, there's a better way to go about stealing from people. So someone like Hush Puppy, as much as he's currently serving an 11-year sentence, he gets a little bit more respect than the typical robber who attacks someone violently with a gun and traumatizes them. This is not to say that people like Hush Puppy are not traumatizing their victims. I have been reading stories of victims who ended up losing their jobs because of scams led by the likes of Hush Puppy. So I cannot understate how dangerous and impactful this particular way of making money is, but nonetheless the innovation that involves scamming is quite desirable to very many young people all over the world. And Hush Puppy's rise to fame and Hush Puppy's access to a lavish lifestyle, as well as the fact that he was a social media influencer, thereby making his content very accessible to many young people all over the world, made them see something in what he was doing. And right now, Kenyans, as well as many other nationals from different regions all over the world, have decided to take up scamming in large amounts. In fact, last month, up to 24 Kenyans were arrested for being involved in gold scams. When someone like Hush Puppy showcases his lavish lifestyle and is a social media influencer, and a few years later, it's established that he is able to afford his way of life by scamming, that is when something like the Hush Puppy effect arises, because the people can put two and two together and they realize that this man is stealing from the comfort of his home. He doesn't have to be violent, he does not have to carry a gun around with him, and he's not just making pennies, he's living life, he's living a lavish lifestyle. So as much as Hush Puppy was not just arrested, he was pop walked. They embarrassed the man and made it very clear that people like him will be arrested and embarrassed and their money taken from them and made to restitute their victims. This did not achieve the desired outcome. It did not manage to deter young men from becoming scammers. Rather, it established scamming as a desirable way of income, and thus we see the Hush Puppy influence in full effect, not just in Nigeria, but also in Kenya, in India, and in the Arabian countries, where scamming has been established as a way of making money and to be on a significant rise over the past few years. Let me know what you guys think about this. Do you think that Hush Puppy is to blame for the sudden rise in scamming all over the world? Do you think that his lavish lifestyle and the fact that he was a social media influencer who was portraying his lavish lifestyle in public and putting it in people's faces may have contributed to making scamming something that young people find desirable? Please let me know what you think in the comment section below. Like, share, and subscribe. Bye.